here, Quercus. Another giant. My word, this blasted isle is teeming with them. What's that? Yes, I did see how it made short work of the great acorn servants. Quite right, very impressive. But that is no reason to trust it. Giants like that destroyed our forests. They are the very reason the great acorn is returning in all its wrath. What? Dear me, have you taken leave of all 6 of your senses? You would have me use this giant for a shield? Why would I... Oh, I see. You cunning devil, Quercus. Of course, if it defeated the great acorn's vile servants, it can do so again. We need only follow in its big, wide shadow and be safe. Egad! It speaks our tongue, Quercus! Hush before... What do you mean, a good time for introductions? You know full well who I am, you silly old cat. The great Sir Lora, grandest of the... Oh, introduce myself to the giant. I shall do no such thing. You give away your trust too easily, my dear steed. No, we will have the giant march. In time, we'll see whether it deserves our confidence. Now, onwards! Shield! Venture forth, post-haste. The great acorn waits for no one. Oh, how pensively our shield looks down upon us. Dear me! It has questions, Quercus. Why, yes, I suppose answering them is the polite thing to do. Speak, shield! What are your queries? A giant body, but no giant brain, eh, Quercus? Surely even the tall folk know that Rivellon was bare before the great acorn fell from above and seeded the Earwood, covering this land in beautiful, perfect forests. Beautiful and perfect until the giant races, no offense, realized they could use it to build their houses and fuel their fires. They carved the Earwood up, and the forests shrank and shrank. None of the original wood remains. But someday, the great acorn will fall again. The forests will be reborn, and the giant races will be wiped from this world. At least that's what I hear. Oh, Quercus, it wants answers, as if it is the first creature to ponder the big questions of the universe. What tree did the great acorn fall from? Where did that tree come from, if not a greater acorn? Could you build a nest great enough to store the great acorn for the winter? Some questions have no answers. Quercus, why is that so difficult to understand? The great acorn will come. It will destroy the world, and squirrels will reign supreme forever. I fail to see what's so difficult to grasp. What do you say, Quercus? We once believed it was good, but now... No, quite right. As terrible as the giants have been to us, we do not want to see them wiped out. Rather, we must find a way to live together in peace, giant and squirrel.
Sir Lora stops short, then shakes his head and pats Quercus affectionately.
Squirrels change, don't they, Quercus? Priorities change. If we do not adapt, we are sure to perish. Indeed, Quercus. Let's be off. Blessed branches, we've returned. Every second we spent in that hellish place was a second the great acorn drew closer. Interesting. You thought it was interesting, Quercus? Do you know what's interesting? Watching an entire world be strangled by the roots of doom, seeing the giant races fall like leaves in frost, hearing the screams of... I don't know what you're talking about. I am perfectly calm. Anyway, as interesting as that cold hellscape might have been, it does not solve our problem. We are here to stop the great acorn, not hide from it. It's already helping more than it knows, Quercus. The fate of the world depends on our ability to research a spell to protect Rivellon. We need to travel across the land, gathering clues, experimenting with different magics, and come up with a spell to shield Rivellon from its doom. Of course, for us to do that, we must avoid being eaten by the servants of the great acorn, and that is where our big, foolhardy shield comes in. Quercus! Quercus! It thinks it can use magic at our level. I don't know if that's adorable or just sad. No, I am not going to share our magic with it. I don't care how much you like it, Quercus. Very well, I cannot give it magic, but I can teach it how to forge one spell, if it will keep you happy. One!
The squirrel reaches out, touching your foot with a delicate paw, and you feel your mind open. You can see the forces of magic and see how to combine them in a new way.
There, maybe now your pet will have a fighting chance. Yes, you're welcome, but can we please get on and save the world now? Well, this is a fine sight. Utterly barbaric, of course, destroying a tree and turning it into a boat. Grotesque, but, well, look at it, Quercus. A floating nest, surrounded on all sides by salt water, pure poison to a tree's root. The great acorn could never reach us out here. Well, yes, of course we'll continue our research, Quercus. We're not monsters. Still, I must admit you were right about the shield. It proved to be more than adequate. No! Yes, it seems our shield is still here, Quercus. How does something so large and ungainly sneak up on a person? You give the giants too much credit, Quercus. I think the salty air has addled your mind. It has certainly been useful, but elegant, kind, surprisingly attractive. No, we have no time for your fawning. We may be safe, but the world is not. Come, we must return to our research. Damn it, is nowhere safe. Red-robed lunatics at sea, those void-woken seedlings in the swamp. It all points to the great acorn. It's coming, Quercus! What if it's too late, What if the Knights of Drei are too far ahead in their plans? At least here, our shield's ignorance can be forgiven, Quercus. The Knights of Drei do not go out of their way to boast about their existence. You know their order, my friend. Mystic Squirrel Knights, sworn to the great acorn, trying to bring about its return.
The squirrel absent-mindedly runs a paw over Quercus's spine. The air fills with the sound of soft, dusty purring.
They plan to inherit the everlasting forest once the acorn drops, and the world is rid of all giants. They believe that only the arboreal will, and should, survive. I don't know. I am trying, of course. But how does one battle a power like the great acorn? The Knights of Drei are a dangerous, dangerous order. Lunatics with a single-minded devotion to bringing about the end of the world. Together, Quercus, we can develop some magic to save us from the great acorn, if our shield can keep us alive. Yes, it has done an admirable job so far. It certainly lasted longer than I thought it would. But does it understand that we could be wiped out at any moment? Does it understand the risk? Trust. Do you remember trust, Quercus? I'm not sure I do. Well, yes, of course I trust you, Quercus. You're different. But perhaps we should show a little faith in our shield, too.
The squirrel reaches out and touches your ankle, sending a hot flush rippling through your body. Your mind's eye sees new potential spells swirling before it.
Now, listen carefully, Shield. The plan is thus. Do not die. If the shield can hold up its end of the bargain, we might just have a chance to complete our research. We might make it yet, Quercus. My, the giant takes notice of its charges. Ask away, Shield. How to explain it, Quercus? Do you think giants understand chivalric orders? Can they conceive of honor, of faith? Oh, Quercus, I am not talking down to it. Quite literally the opposite, in fact. I just worry it won't treat a group of mystic squirrel knights forming a doomsday cult dedicated to ending the world with a giant acorn with the seriousness it deserves. Ah, truly? Why, our shield is full of surprises, Quercus. The thing that you must understand about the Knights of Drei is that they are utter fanatics. Nothing matters to them but the return of the great acorn and the destruction of the giant races. Other than the destruction of their homes, the deaths of their friends, and watching ancestral forest being turned into farmland, I am perfectly in control, Quercus. Those claw marks were probably on your spine already. Regardless, we must stand against them. I alone have the magical expertise to stop them. Not that it matters. No one else will even listen. For that, if nothing else, you have my thanks. Now, was there anything else? Indeed, Quercus. Let's be off. Quercus, what are you looking at? Egad, stop gawking at the shield. You ought to be quite used to such journeys into that stone realm by now. Meanwhile, the acorn draws nearer. I read through some tomes I saw that cranky old lizard carrying. Some fascinating leads, but nothing like the power we need to stop the Knights of Drei and their wicked plot. Our gargantuan friend is easily impressed. Wait until it learns that I'm a knight, a scholar, and a wizard capable of saving the world. No, of course it knows that already, Quercus. Yes, I'm aware it's the entire basis of our partnership. No, I most certainly do not feel the need to return the compliment. I owe our shield my life several times over. I hardly need to grovel and thank it each time. I'm sure it knows I appreciate it. Now, if you're quite finished ogling your favorite long-legged scratching post, we need to get on and save the world already. Look at that island, Quercus. Covered in forest. A true forest. Can you smell it? Over the stink of the water. Millennia of mulch. Those woods are ancient. Where better to find a clue about the great acorn? Some of those trees could even date back to the first forest. The Knights of Drei will never find us here. A perfect sanctuary to pause and complete our research. There's no rest for the wicked, Quercus. And even less for those out to save the world, it seems. Somewhere on this ancient isle, there must be a clue that will help us stop the acorn. We must tread carefully. I'm sure such a wonderland will be dangerous, but at least it should be free from the Knights of Drei.
The cat leans into your palm, rubbing against you and almost unseating his small passenger.
Quercus, please have some dignity. I swear civility is dead. Anyway, we have something for your new best friend.
The squirrel reaches out and hands you a piece of bark, covered in tiny, scratched handwriting.
Something I discovered in your lizard friend's basement. She won't miss it, but use it well. Shh, Quercus. It's okay. We're okay.
He runs his paws over the cat's skeleton with long, methodical strokes. Sometimes his fingers curl, as if he's forgotten that Quercus's fur is long gone.
Shh, don't cry. We got out. We made it. We're safe. They can't get us here. The knights will never hurt us again, Quercus. I promise. Quercus, after all the shield has done, do you think it's time? Yes. Yes, I think so too. The story belongs to us both, and by now the shield deserves to know the truth.
The squirrel looks up and meets your eyes for the first time. Small, shining beads take you in.
We have traveled some time together, Shield. There were times when I very nearly lost heart. My research, so much of it has led to naught. At times, I fear I am no closer to stopping the acorn than when I started. But you have been relentless. When I felt I might falter, you sallied forward. You and the Quercus have given me strength when mine waned. You deserve to know the truth. The reason I know so much about the Knights of Drei, the reason I'm the one who needs to stop them, well, I was one of their order once. I was an acolyte of the great acorn. I saw dwarves tear down my forest, turning my home into weapons of war. I saw humans launching great orbs of fire into the homes of my friends. I saw lizards shackling the citizens of the land with harnesses and whips. The great acorn would stop you all for good. And what do you call the destruction of an entire forest and all its inhabitants? They call it progress. We call it genocide. The same as you. You reap what you sow. Isn't that right? At least, that's what I thought then. I believed in the cause of the great acorn. I believed the Knights of Drei were righteous in their quest. But they proved themselves zealots, heartless.
He runs his paws along Quercus's bony head and scritches the space behind his ear. Quercus rattles a dry, contented purr.
Quercus was once a beautiful, burnished orange, long of hair, green of eye, so soft of tread he could stalk through a thicket of dry thorns without disturbing a single one. That was before the Knights of Drei decided, well, they decreed. They executed him. Squirrels alone shall reap the great acorn's blessings, they said. It's unnatural to associate with other species, they said. So, they killed him. My friend. It was then I knew that they'd gone too far. It was then that I realized what I had been party to. It took every last bit of magic I had gathered to bring him back. Then we ran. I just wanted to find a safe den where we could hide together, but...
The squirrel sits quietly for a moment, running his hand down the cat's spine. Quercus arches his back and flexes his claws.
But Quercus said we could do more. He said we should push on.
The cat leans into your palm, rubbing against you, and only a quick act of acrobatics stops Lora from being knocked off. The squirrel throws his hands up in indignity, but you can see a quiet smile spreading underneath his whiskers.
What a bevy of misfits we are! Though I suppose it is best to fit badly in a world gone mad. Fear not, Shield. I will discover how to stop the great acorn. I will protect the creatures of this land, all of them, from the knights. With Quercus at my side, with you at my side, I know I will not fail. Our shield speaks, Quercus. Prick up your phantom ears. Ask away, shield. Indeed, rather hard to believe, isn't it? I was a devoted follower of the great acorn. I believed it was the only way to save the forests from giants. But I was wrong, of course.
Sir Lora pats Quercus's flank and smiles wistfully.
They put Quercus to the sword, just because he was a different species than they. Obscene, isn't it? Well, we made a pact, didn't we, Quercus? If we should perish, we'll face the great unknown together. And until eternity comes for us both, it shall come for neither. Indeed, Quercus. Let's be off. Oh, Quercus. She might have been a butchered tree, but she still made a noble home. And now our nest is gone. We cannot hide in their barren hall of echoes. We cannot idly wait for fate to take us. There's only one thing left to do.
Sir Lora looks up to you, then back to Quercus. His whiskers twitch.
We must fight! Onward, Quercus! Onward, Shield! Until the great acorn drops, there's still hope! Ho! Hold here, Quercus. I need a moment with our friend. Shield, we are about to enter the belly of the beast, to cross a threshold past which there may be no hope of return. There's every chance the servants of the great acorn will skin you alive, frying your bones and boiling your eyes. You could suffer most terrible. I am getting to the point, Quercus. The point is, the path ahead is dangerous. I have watched you defeat monsters, villains, and a surprising number of inanimate objects. But your greatest challenge yet lies before you. I do not know what lies ahead, but the great acorn is almost here. I can feel it in my fur. The forces of evil will throw everything they have against us, but I need more time to finish my research. You have been a good shield and an excellent friend. Quercus and I both believe you can buy us the time we need. I know you will. The world might be filled with murderous giants, but at least some of them are worth saving. Now, it will take more than Quercus's ferocity and my wit if you're going to survive. You need power, and I think I have just the thing. After our last little escapade with your Void-Woken, I examined the corpses you left behind. They were imbued with dark power. But I believe Quercus believes, and I concur, that this magic can be used for light as well as darkness. Here, try this.
The squirrel lays his hand on you, and a strange feeling ripples through your body, a sense of power. Your mind opens to the possibilities of new magic.
Now, how do you think it feels, Quercus? Of course you do. What greater power could there be than knowledge? Granted, the recipe you know could be a little darker than what you're used to. It would harness the power of those that you've defeated. A grim art. But if you need proof that grim arts can lead to marvelous things, you need only look at Quercus. Now you have all the power you need. You were a wonderful shield as we fled, but we are not running anymore. Now you must become the axe. Go, my friend, and lay waste to the forces of the acorn. Hack them to pieces, snap their spines, and burn their eyes, and... And Quercus says, good luck. My goodness, here we are, Quercus. This is it. What do you mean, Quercus? Of course I'm prepared. I have my noble steed below me, and my trusted shield beside me. What more could I need?
His whiskers crack into a mischievous smile.
And I may have cracked the spell that will stop the great acorn in its furious tracks, if that's what you mean. That's right, Quercus. We've done it!
Sir Lora turns to you, his beady eyes shining with pride.
I owe you an apology, Shield. At the start of our journey, I wouldn't have believed a human would lead me to the discovery that would save us all. But I see now that my prejudice was foolish. Without you, Quercus and I might still be stuck on that abominable prison island. Now here I am. Here we are, on the brink of saving the world. Indeed, Quercus and I will find an advantageous location and do just that. Meanwhile, you must prevent the servants of the acorn from interrupting us.
Sir Lora takes a slow, deep breath and lets it out in a rush.
You feel it, don't you? It's so still, but there's something behind it, too, like a thunderclap waiting to fall. The great acorn is nearly here. Its servants are poised for impact. We've known this moment would come. Now it is time to put my research to the test. I am ready. Quercus is ready. And you, Shield?
Sir Lora nods in return and grabs your pinky with his tiny paw. He gives it a decisive shake, then salutes.
No matter what happens next, Shield, there's something Quercus and I want you to know. It has been an honor. Now, onward! Well, well, Quercus. Look who finally graced us with their presence. I suppose some thanks are in order. What? No, you should be thanking me. I just saved the world from the great acorn. You're welcome, by the way. Honestly, Quercus, some creatures have no sense of perspective.
A huge grin slowly spreads across the squirrel's small face.
Of course, had you not stopped this God King and his lackeys, there would have been very little left for me to save, so...
The cat moves forward, twisting around your legs and filling the air with the sound of dry, dusty purring.
Ah, Quercus! Please, have a little decorum. This battle is won, my friend, but we still have a war to fight. We've undone the great acorn, but the Knights of Drei are still out there. They summoned the great acorn once. They will be able to summon it again. We have to destroy their order, once and for all. That is the future Quercus and I have ahead of us. We no longer need a shield, but we are very happy to have a friend.
The squirrel tenses for half a moment before relaxing into your fingers.
Ah! Oh, my. Quercus, you never told me it felt this good. Well, that was certainly an experience. Of course, this has all been something of an experience, eh? I don't suppose any of us did. I never thought I would be proud to have befriended a giant. But there is no one Ow! Crackers! There is no one that we would rather have walked this world with. I do not know what comes next for you, but you will always have a friend in the forest. Come, Quercus, we must... Oh, I think you have something in your eye, my friend.
The cat curls up and snuggles into his squirrel friend, who quietly sits and sniffs on the deck.